Hello everybody. I'm just getting ready to start working on Sol Trader. You can see that I've got a completely new setup for my stream now. I'm quite pleased with it. We'll have to see how it goes. If you've got any kind of suggestions, do say hi in the chat and give your suggestions. The chat is now running on the same screen, so quite pleased with how that's going to go. Hopefully that will work well. We've also got the newest follower, so if you're following us, you'll get a little note saying that you're the new follower as well, and to give you a chance to say welcome, and just a little bit of information about the game as well. So I'm hoping that this will stream well and it'll work well for people. As I say, if you've got questions and comments and want to talk a bit more about that, then I'd love to do that. Let me just get set up here. Just make sure I've got my mail running in a different screen. Don't miss anything. Got the chat window up running on the monitor above this one. So I'm streaming the smaller monitor and I've got chat and that kind of stuff running on the second monitor. So that kind of works hopefully quite well. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. Okay, make sure that the screen is big enough. That's probably about right in terms of the quality. I hate streams with small text. It's really annoying when you can't see anything. So let me just finish my massive cup of tea. Or coffee, I should say. Great, if you see me looking up from time to time, that's because the other screen is running on there. So we'll see how this goes. First off, I just need to send a quick tweet. Say hello. So let's send that from the Sol Trader account. Live streaming development. Now, if you're going to send it from my account, see if that makes a difference. A couple of hours working on ground mode improvements. That's Anvim. Let's just pop this on there, twitch.tv, Chris NDP _. Working ground mode, which is bar spaceport spaceport dock modeling. Almost finished, so bearing with me. Okay, that'll do. I just need to tweak that. I also need to turn off those notifications. That would help, wouldn't it? Let's just do that quickly. Off. Okay. Great, so I'm just going to get Sol to treat that too. Yeah, retweeted. Brilliant. Let's see if that does anything. The other thing I should do, something I often forget to do, is to just on the Game Dev Daily thread just say that I'm streaming. Where's the daily one? There it is. Hello all. And just at the moment, modeling the bar, spaceport, dock, etc. and this in. Boom. There we go. Okay, that's good. Anything else? I must not get distracted by Reddit. I must not get distracted by Reddit. I must not get distracted by Reddit. Let's just make sure the chat's working. Hello. This is a test. Hopefully that should appear on the stream if it's working well. Let's see. Yes, that looks like it's working. Excellent. Okay. Fantastico. So, what were we working on? Well, I can't remember is the answer, so let's have a look at what we last did. Git show. Ah yes, that's right. We turned operations into entities. So an operation in this game is it's like a place of operation. It's like a going concern. It's an office for a department store. It's a hotel. So it's that kind of operation rather than anything else. Look, hello PatchFX. Thanks for joining in. PatchFX, aka Richard, my friend, who is working on Card Pirates with me. If you're interested in that, go and look at that. So yeah, nice to see you, Rich. Thanks for stopping by. So we've any comments you've got on the new live stream, mate? That'd be really good. Just let me know what you think of the kind of layout and stuff. I was also thinking, Rich, we should totally try and live stream some Card Pirates development. I think that'd be really fun. So we should do that at some point. Cool. Okay, so where were we up to? Yes, operations into entities. That's right. So now operations, when they're added to locations, they are just entities in that location. The way that this works is that we have entities in the game. They're physical things. They contain locations. So an entity might have a location in it. So a city has a location within that entity. Now locations contain other entities. I'm glad you like it. That's awesome. Do feel free to follow me on Twitch if you're interested, and you'll get a newest follower thing as well. If you want to do that, that'd be awesome, so that you can show off to the world that you're a fan of the stream. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, any questions, any improvements on this, on the way that I've done the stream, I'd be really grateful for those. Hopefully it's a little bit neater and nicer. The one thing I do want to improve is I've got a decent camcorder here, which I'm not using at the moment. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting that set up as a kind of separate camera sitting in here so that it'll just look much better. I'm thinking about putting it somewhere over there, that way. So that you can get a side-on view of me rather than me just kind of randomly looking at the screen. Webcams are great, but they're not necessarily the best way of doing these things. So getting a better camera with a decent size lens would be a really good thing to do. So I'm definitely planning on doing that. Yeah, okay, so I was saying entities have locations in them. Locations have other entities in them, which may have other locations in them. So we have a planet, which contains a location. That location contains city entities. Those cities have a location. And that contains maybe a bar or a spaceport or other buildings. So by turning these operations, aka hotels, bars, that kind of thing, into other entities, hopefully that will mean that it's really clear as to what's going on. It means I can just stick operations inside those cities without any kind of fuss. Now the question is with operations, did I do that? I'm not sure. Let's see. I think so. Right, so this adds operations. Operations are attached to organizations. Now the question is have I added those to the location correctly? Oh yeah, because in operation.cpp, just go to that quickly. Yeah, look, set location. So that means that those entities do actually have, let's just load the Sole Trader Issues page so I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing. They already have the bar and everything like that in them, which is brilliant. So okay, let's do this. Okay, I definitely need to stop the backup. Crazy. Trello.com, sort of issue, that's the one I want. Ooh, new stuff, must not get distracted. Right, ground improvements, that's what I'm working on. Okay, so landing on planets must target a particular city. Oh yes, right, so I've done this. This is tricky. So at the moment, what I've done is I've basically attached all of the different things in the game to cities now, rather than to, yeah. So when you land in a city, and it should be moved into the shipyard. There's always one shipyard in any particular city. So basically, when you land, I'll show you what I mean. When I run the game, oops. Why are you not running? Oh, because I'm not typing correctly. Okay. When I run the game, what happens is that I load a particular game here. Ooh, should I do? Yeah, I'll load a game. This may or may not crash. It's quite possible that it might crash. Okay, yep, that worked. So say any of these will do. Hopefully no, except that live stage is not found, cannot load. Interesting. Okay, let's try starting a new game. I've just been screwing around with live stages. I added a spaceport and new stuff, so it's quite possible that I've broken save games in the last couple of days. Okay, so let's try a new history here. So, two possible families, Geraldine Mead, living on Mars, or Billy and Rick Shazzle Lines. I quite like the name of Shazzle Lines. Let's go for those guys. Okay, I'm going to skip through the history generation pretty quickly. Basically what happens is you get a whole bunch of different options, different things happen to you and your family as you go through the history generation. I need to keep moving through this. Okay, took a PhD, start the game, right. So here I am now. The problem is at the moment, when you land on Earth, for example, you land and you get added to the Earth location, and you can see that nobody's here anymore because they're now all in the particular city. This is wrong. I think what you should do is when you say I want to land, in which case you press E, it should probably hail Earth, hail the different spaceports and say which city do you want to land in. Because you could land, for example, in London, which is over here, or you could land, for example, down here a bit. It's a little bit slow. It's not brilliant. That's just the live streaming. My computer isn't. I need a desktop computer that can do this. I'm streaming the whole thing from my laptop, so it's all a bit slow. You can land down here, which is Cape Town. I don't really want to have to. This Earth does not rotate. It's just a static image, so I don't really want to have to set it up so that you have to go to the particular place. Probably what I want to do is, in the same way when I press a button here and you see all the people in the place, I want to be able to say hail Earth, and you can only do that if you're close by. I think that's probably the answer. So that when you then get to a planet, you hail them and say I want to land with you. Then you just have to kind of choose the city in which you want to land. Maybe when you see this hailing list here, maybe what we should have is kind of a list of the spaceports that you can also talk to. Spaceports have long-range radios. I'm imagining you'd be able to talk to any of them. I don't really. Well, maybe it should be E in the same way. E is used for interactivity. I'm going through jump gates, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure that I necessarily want to think quite carefully about this. So basically, V is communication. So when you want to land, you really need to say communicate. And then you need permission to land. And then when you press E, maybe it should just say you have permission. Maybe you shouldn't be able to hail a particular person until you're close by them. Or maybe hail this planet until you're close by them. Just trying to think what the best thing to do is. I mean, it makes sense to hail a city and say, I want to land at this city. The other option, which is much more work, is for you, when you go into the planet, actually join into the Earth location, which creates a massive kind of, a little bit like the way that you can fly around here. You basically can fly around the surface of the Earth almost and land anywhere you like, and well, I land on a particular city. I'm a bit loath to do that because I think it's quite a lot of work, and it would make the AI more complicated, and it's the sort of thing that I want to do maybe as a stretch goal. I'm doing a Kickstarter early next year, which will be really fun, and I'm thinking about doing this doing that potentially as a stretch goal. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's getting dark. Oh, the sun is moving behind the planet, so that's why my little ship is. Can't really see them that well. Okay, anyway, so thinking about this, I'm thinking that I probably want to do it so that you just press V, but you only see it when you're close by. Okay, let's go with that and see how that feels. I can prototype that up quite quickly. Right, so that communications controller is a comms panel. It's this thing here. At the moment, all it does is it has this comm source, which is a particular thing which syncs up, and then when the scan counts change, yeah. Okay, when a ship gets close enough to be able to land, what happens now? Just looking at the ship code. That's probably in the celestial body code, actually. Where's the collision happen? Maybe in the space location render? I don't know. So it's this thing. So let's try and find this. Space physics, of course. It's in the physics. Right. So what happens is that bullet collision, no. Gummy collision, no. Celestial body condition. Right. So if we are, this is called every time, every frame that we are near or colliding with a celestial body, a ship is colliding with a celestial body. If the ship if we're ordering the ship to interact, then we fire something. Tricky. So maybe what we need to do is store whether we are, or fire an event on the ship. It's tricky to know. It's tricky to know. At the moment, this is done frame by frame. So quality of the picture's low, is it? Oh, that's annoying. I can do my best. As far as I know, when I'm streaming it. Oh, hang on, I've got a call coming in. I just need to put the call on mute for a minute. Okay, I need to be right. Oops, I need to be right back in a minute. I will come back and try and figure out why that's not working. So I will be back very shortly. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, just had to let my wife in the house. Always goes down well when you do that. Okay. So, you wanted me to try and increase the stream quality. What I can do is drop the frame rate down to 20 frames a second. That seemed to work well okay. Can you let me know if that's any better? 220 FPS. Is that better? I was trying 30 in the hope that it would actually kind of work well. That might well work a bit better. It'd be really good to know if that's any better. So we'll see in a minute. Cool, thanks guys. Yeah, I know it's not very good out here. It's basically just because it doesn't seem like my bitrate is very good from within out of my shed, which is I'm out in a garden office at the moment, and my net connection is through the power cables, which can have a bunch of interference. So I think that's possibly what's going on. It tends to vary depending on the weather and whatever. I don't know exactly what. But anyway, so moving on with the game. So what I'm trying to do here is to figure out why, or how I should say, to manage this process of seeing whether or not I am close enough to be able to hail a particular city. What I could do is hail a particular city or a spaceport in a particular city and say, hey, I want to talk to you. That adds quite a lot of flavor text. I think I should definitely do that. So hello everyone, by the way, I've just got a bunch of new joiners. Thanks for popping by to view the stream. Great to see you today. If you want to follow me on Twitch, hopefully your the follower thing will update. So we can see whether or not you appear on there. If someone wants to follow me, that would be great. And then we can figure out whether or not that's working. Chris J. Bampton has been up there far too long, so feel free to bump him off. Thanks, Chris, for following me, but you know, it's somebody else's turn. So if you want to follow me and see if that's working, then that would be great. Okay, so let's move on. Right, I'm thinking we ignore the space physics stuff at the moment. I'm not sure this is the right way of doing it. The way that it currently works with the comms panel, which is what I want to do. Basically, for those of you who've just joined, this is what I'm trying to do. So if I load Brian's Shazzle Lines of Save Game, I have a comms panel on this side here, and I want to be able to use that in order to display the different cities that I can talk to and request clearance for. So that's what I'm doing. So that code is this comms panel. At the moment we are syncing it with the comms list, which is the comms source. Now that's not just that it actually is ship comms source. So probably what the first thing to do would be to find comms source in this code and just put ship in front of it. Yeah, there we go. Now we need another comms source, which is going to be planet comms source, I think. Yeah, last follower is being asked for every minute. So yeah, that should be working. Every minute? Yeah, every minute. Cool. That's good. Okay, right, so that should work if someone follows me. We'll see what happens. Okay. Now we have a ship comms source here. So when we sync the comms panel, all this does is it just checks to see whether or not a particular ship is in view. Now this is done through scanned entities. So in the same way, we need a similar thing. Right. So this is syncing this is syncing the list of ships, which there aren't any actually in that serve game, and we need a similar thing. Okay, well let's just put it in the same method. So let's have a look at the comms panel layout. We need a comms list, but we need, this is going to be ship comms list, and this is now going to be, and I'm just going to call that comms, and this is going to be planet comms list. Or should I do it as part of the same thing? No, I think it's sufficiently different. Right, so this is just going to be comms. So I want to change the whole thing here to comms. Yeah, so ship comms list and planet comms list. I update that here. Ship comms list, right. So now I've got that. What I'm looking for. By the way, I'm open to questions. People can ask me things. I'm very happy to answer questions. Okay. So let's see, ship comms list. This needs to be planet comms list. I've got a table representation. Actually, that's not even necessary. Just pop that in there like that. Grab that one, replace it with those, and change that for planet. Okay, we've got that. It's a new table role though. Okay. This is a planet common source. What's values? Oh, I don't need that. So this is now comms list, ship comms list. And this one is source role. Let's just swap these around. This can now be ship comms source. Renaming is really important because that just aids understanding. Naming things correctly is a really, oops, that's wrong, completely wrong. That is now down there, and this is going to be planet comms list. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the comms panel so that it displays a planet as well. Okay, the planet comms source doesn't need the relationship values. That's just, that values is a poor name, but it stands for relationship values. Comms source, planet comms list. That one. Actually, I don't. This can just be a temporary, so I don't have to worry about the name. Delete, execute. That means I don't have to worry about naming these things, which is cool. Woo! A few more people to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. If you'd like to follow me on Twitch, that would be awesome. Probably one thing I should do is just update what I'm working on. Landing at specific cities on the planet. Then locations out. Have you got any questions? If the audio isn't clear or anything like that, I'll ask that one here just in case you can't hear me. That would be good to know. Okay. Right. So the next thing is to, once I've got the planet comms source, I actually need to write this thing. So here's a ship comms source. So I might just base this comms source on the planet comms source. So this particular type of thing is just a way of putting information into a table, basically. This is all it means. So the things that we want are the player and the ship, and we want a constructor here, human player ship, you can see I do this all the time, can't you? And then player, ship, there's the constructor. Okay, don't need to do anything else. Don't need the relationships this time. So what do I need? What else do I need? Right, the things that you need to actually implement are each row and each column. The idea is to say this is called for every row. So what I need is target class. System features. Ooh. This is a problem. Okay, the problem is that I'm asking the ship what planets it scanned. But we don't scan planets, we scan system features, which is like planets and jump gates. That might just be bogus, that whole idea of scanning. What's going on here? Of scanning system features. I may just be completely wrong about that. Why is that taking so long? Oh. Right, so yeah, we scan and draw the system features here. Commerce panel, yeah, I'm going to have to split up system features into planets and jump gates, I think, which is really annoying. Yeah, that's how we do it. The reason we do this is so that you don't, when you do your scan, it treats the system features the same, so you can see planets and jump gates at the same time when you're going through your scanning, which is probably correct. However, when you're hailing someone, you're going through the scanned things, then that's a different type of thing. Well, maybe you can hail jump gates. I don't think anyone actually works at a jump gate. They probably do, actually. There's probably a little army of people inside those jump gates just kind of organising them. And yeah, maybe you should have to hail a jump gate to go through. That might be quite fun. The idea of a jump gate closing because of strikes or something is also quite fun. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. Okay, well no, I'm happy enough that at the moment with the idea of just scanning through a bunch of these things. Now the reason that, okay, I need to store off the row function because I'm not quite ready to call that yet. So yeah, I need to do the same thing as this. Right, why have I got problems here? Those little arrows mean that it's trying to private field players not used. Inclusively deferred private. Oh yeah, that needs to be public. Thank you, Sigtastic, for checking my errors as I save. Let's try again. Yeah, that one's gone away. That one's still not used, but it will be used in a minute. Use of undeclared identifier. That's because I'm now in a planet comms source. Okay, so in the same way that I've got this now needs to be system features. Okay, now when we hit a system feature, we need to basically go through each of its cities, if it has cities. Interesting. Maybe I shouldn't go through the scanned entities. Maybe I just go through everything that's in the location. Yeah, I think I will, because it doesn't really matter. You can there are fixed points here, and this is just easier. Location, layer, body. So all of the planets, that would be good. System, same thing though. I see Gun Games is now following. Let's see if that updates. Thanks, Gun Games, for following. Just got an email about that. Let's see if the newest follower updates. Yay, it worked! Fantastico. That's very exciting. Nice. Sorry, I spent far too much time yesterday getting that stuff working. Far too much time. Didn't get any of my other work done. Right, so now we are calling this for every row. And basically, we need to oh, cool. Thanks also for saying that the audio is clear. Sorry, I missed that one last time. Okay, so basically now for each, we know that this is a planet, a celestial body. So we're able to say, no, that's the wrong way around. Able to say that. And then we can say body. Do we even need? Yes, we do, because we need to say planet location. That's obviously a pointer. Each entity CPU location layer ground. So this will be all of the cities that we have. So basically I'm trying to iterate through everything inside the planet location, which will only be cities. Planet com source city. Okay, and once we've done that, void city entity entity. Same again, city equals city entity. In fact, I don't even need that. Oh no, I do need that. I said that already. Okay, so now each of the cities will have a spaceport in it. So the question is, will it respond? So we can go through each of these city entities and we can say just thinking about how this works. We can display the cities. No, we need to display the spaceports within the city. So it depends on whether or not that thing is something that you can talk to. Well, let's start off by just again here, city location, each entity. And now this is going to be an operation. So basically now what we're going to do is every time we sync this thing up, which thankfully isn't every frame, we're going to talk to every operation which exists inside the solar system or the particular orbit that you're in. It's possibly overkill, but it's a good start. Okay, so we might need to add something to the operation interface just to say, can you be seen or not? Now, if I was using an entity component system, I'd just have the ones with a hailing component, which would be really nice, wouldn't it? But I don't have that, so I'm using inheritance because this is an old style entity hierarchy. Big OO, it's a bit rubbish, but it's what I've got. It's what I started with. Excuse me, I've been working on this game for 3 years, so I'm not changing it now. Sorry, too late. I'll do it for the next game, but not this one. Right, okay, so use undeclared identifier city. Did you mean city? Let's see if that... oh, doesn't know what a city is. It's going to need to know what a city is. It doesn't know what an operation is either. It's going to need to know what one of those is. Let's try that. See how many errors I've got here. Hopefully not too many. Oh, just one here. That's not city, that's operation, and that's just because it's unused, yeah. That's fine. What's going on here? Oh, incomplete type celestial body. Okay, now we have every operation. Well, let's just stuff them all in. We just need to call action. What was it? It was this one. Well, we know all of these are operations, we just void pointer them. Now, when we define each column, here we get the operation out. So we need operation equals operation ID. Now, basically, for every thing, operation, we're just going to call operation name. It's probably the fully qualified name. So fully, oh, I know what it is. Oh, where is that? It's part of the entity. Let's see. fully qualified location name, brilliant. Pass the name in there. Now what I can do here, what you do here is you say action, and then you say 0, name, and that is just going to be name system. Fine. Okay, so all I'm doing now is for every operation, for every kind of place where people might work in the entire solar system, I'm going to add that to that comms panel to start with, and then we'll just filter that down to just the spaceports in a minute. But that's a really good starting point. Now, interestingly, I'm not using player. I don't think I need player, which makes this a lot simpler. Which means that when I actually instantiate this thing, which is down here, I don't need to pass in player. There we go. How's this looking? Planet com source, planet comms list. I haven't spelled that correctly, have I? Let's try that again. Okay, any errors? Yep, still errors. User under control planet comms list. Did you mean planet comms list? That's the same. How have I typed that wrong? Oh yeah. Capitalization. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Is that still fast passing? No, got an error here. Unknown method named each entity in ship. Why not? Ship's location. It's the current location of that ship, which will be in space. So it's looking in there. Great, that's now passing because I've got rid of all of those little funny arrows. So, let's see if I can compile that correctly. Hey, look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's Christmas, everybody. It's great at this time of year because it means that everyone stops working for a bit and, well, not stops working. They do stop working eventually. For us indie gamers, we basically just carry on. We just have more time to work on our games. Anyway, that's probably enough of that annoying snowfall. I'll turn that on periodically just because it's Christmas. Time to get into the mood. Okay, right, so where we get to? Yes, so if I click load existing game and I go for Brian Chazelle Lines, loving that name, press V. Hey, look at that. So we've got Interplanetary Senate, Cape Town Earth, headquarters. Don't know what that means. Cape Town Earth, Earth Outpost, Cape Town Earth. Planetary Council, we haven't quite got that right. Main campus, yeah, it's not, yeah, it's not quite right, is it? It's almost there. It's just a few bits missing. Okay, but that's a good start. So, also the height is obviously completely bogus. So we need to figure out that. So, first things first, comms panel height. Where's the height? That comes in the RML file, sorry. Height, 250, 300. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's get rid of that. Just be as high as it gets. And let's put that on the window. Yeah, the height should only be, well, let's make it 400 because then I've got more stuff in it. That's a good start. The overflow auto should be on the window. That should be there, which means I can get rid of that. Let's see, that should definitely be better to start with anyway. The other thing was the name that I'm pumping out. The name here, just using fully qualified location name. That's not sufficient, is it? It needs to be something else. By the way, I should say, for those of you who are just joining, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. It's Christmas. I'm, in the mood for questions. So yeah, if you would like to ask me anything about what I'm doing, anything else at all really about programming or anything, just let me know. Right, so what am I printing out in the view history controller? Because that is where I show operation. Often we'll do this stuff. Operation type description 4, that's what I need. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, so I have an operation type description 4 which adds it to a string stream. Okay, I can go with that. And then I have an operation, it looks like the location name. Yeah. Yes. So operation location containing NT fully. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put the name in. Name, location. Oops. Okay, let's make that bigger. Okay, right, so we've got the string, the name of the thing. That's a good start. And then we've got, let's pop in a line break followed by a span with a location class. This is a kind of weird, slightly interesting HTML version called RML, which stands for Rocket Markup Language. It's the GUI library I'm using is librocket, so it's almost like HTML, but not quite. So then we bung the location string into there. Actually, let's just do this really clearly. Location, and then close that span tag off. Right, so now what I've got, hopefully, and that will be Stra, that one. Okay, so now I've got the name of the location. Once I've done that, I'll need here cons li, and then within there I'm going to do, it'll have a location, it'll be name, but within that there'll be a location span, and I just wanted to make that a different color. What color? Some sort of dark grey would be good. Let's just go for dark grey, see what happens. Let's spell that right. Yes, I have. Right. Now, compile. Did that one compile? No. Remember accent to incomplete type. Fine, yes, I need to now. Operation type 2. Yes. Right. Running that. If you haven't been before, like it says on the ticker, do let us know where you're coming from in the world. That'd be amazing. Also, let me know how you found this stream. Was it Twitter? Was it Reddit? Was it someone else? Maybe just browsing games development on Twitch? Really good to know where people come from, because then I know where to talk about the game. Oh, are we still backing up? I hope not. Okay, right. Let's just load up Brian again. Now, ooh, fair. Oh, color dark grey is no good. Well, I can leave the game running if it's just that. Let's see if that works. Come on. No, I can't quite leave the game running. I've got it running in modal version, right. Why is that not working? Why? Dark grey, no good. Let's go for 999, but let's make it. Use 32-bit colors with this. Okay, don't worry about these errors, it's just because it thinks it's HTML, but it isn't actually. Right, no compiling needed, just run the game. Yeah, that's better. Where is everything? Oh, there they are. Ooh, look at that. There we are. That's not the right color. That's slightly odd. Right, so we've now got headquarters of Federation Starfleet in Cape Town, Earth Outpost of Federation Starfleet. Right, so you can actually talk to everyone. Look at how many there are. There are a lot. That seemed really slow to load as well. Look how slow that was. Bing, 1. Does that mean if you're flying it kills the game? Yes, it does. Ooh, that's so slow. Might be because it's debug. Oh, nasty. Yeah. Okay, that's worth knowing. Setting up that GUI is slow. I'll have to profile that in a minute. Okay, anyway. So, that's probably because of the librocket stuff, to be honest. It's this particular stuff that's really slow. First things first. This was wrong. It's kind of some weird colour. It's doing the right thing, but there's a lot of them. And they're still appearing really low down. Why is that? Body window, height 400. Ship comms list, comms entries. Body window. Yeah. Height is that. Overloads auto. Does the entries also have a height? I should hope not. Let's have a look at this other style stuff. Might do. Ooh, look at that. Height is 465. That's bogus. Bogus, bogus, bogus. That's completely wrong. Height is auto. Right, now this time I'm going to run it modally. Sorry, non-modally. Okay, V. Better. At least it's appearing in the right place now. Bit long. And why is it over there? Still very slow. That's slightly odd. Let's just pull up the, not that one, this debugger here. Pop that over there. Okay, width 150. Display block, float right. Float right? Right about Brian. Float, that's float left. Why is that float right? Line 197 of window RCSS and line 203. Last child's float right. That's because I've only got one thing in there. Or maybe I should, instead of doing this weird span thing, I'm thinking maybe what we should do is use two columns. Come on. Ah, what's going wrong? Place one. Okay. Yeah, that's just, don't care about that. Location, that's going to be that. That should just be location, C-stra. Yeah, that'll do, something like that. So now we have two columns. That entry stuff is correct. It won't be inside that. The width is possibly going to be a problem. That's a bit small. Not sure how this is going to go. We'll see how it goes. If you'd like to follow me on Twitch, you'd be very welcome to. You'll even get a newest follower thanks in a minute, which will be pretty cool. It should flick to you. Thank you, Gun Games, for following me earlier, but I think it's time somebody else did. So go ahead and hit the follow button if you'd like to. Then you'll be able to find out what time I'm online. I'm online very randomly, I have to say. So Twitch is probably the best way of finding out when I'm going to be online, just by getting those notifications. Right. Still slow. Still, that's ugly. Ugly. Right. Let's try changing those both to 75. I think I'm going to need to do this. And then we'll get both of them. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh, it's because this one is now too big. That's a bit, yeah, it's a bit crap, isn't it? I suppose it's alright. It's the wrong colour. Totally the wrong colour. Where are my other colours? What do I use? It's the, no. Colour is just on. Oh, I don't know. I suppose we could go for a green. Oh no, no! Mind you, this one should probably be the same. Don't really like green. I think it should be a grey, just like a little one. Yeah, it's not. It's okay. Maybe when there's not so much stuff there, because that is literally everything. Look, Don's Bar in Cape Town, Bradley's Bar, look. These are the places, the factory in London owned by Microlite. Yeah, you see, I don't want most of these things. The Gula and Roy Bar, like it. Some good stuff over there. I mean, you're not going to be able to call up a flipping criminal organisation, are you? That's ridiculous. So let's figure that out. Okay. But anyway, that's a good start. So let's add this in as a check-in. Yeah, so now we have all of the operations within the solar system very slowly added to a panel because it's a bit crap to iterate like that. Okay. That's a good starting point. Now, what we need to do is to filter that list. So I think the best way of filtering it will be comms panel down here. If operation type can be hailed. Let's go with that. Let's be really specific. I don't like this very much. It doesn't feel right that I should make a special exception for can be hailed from system. So when something doesn't feel right, what I tend to do is I tend to add a really specific name, like can be hailed from system, so that it sticks out a bit like a sore thumb. That's not a void, that's going to be a bool. And that is going to be an operation type. It's probably going to need to be, actually I'm going to just start with return false. So it can't be held by system from default. However, a spaceport operation type, virtual bool can be hailed from system, returns true. It's not great, it's a bit rubbish, but we'll go with that to start with. Right, I'm going to compile that, and while that is compiling, I am going to be right back in a minute. So give me a second while I go to the loop. Okay, oh look, that looks like it compiled. That's excellent. Fantastico. Okay. Any chat messages? No. Feel free to ask questions if you'd like to. Totally fine with that. Just switch the screen in a minute. What was next? Yeah, I was just double checking to make sure the stream was running okay. Yeah, it looks okay. Let's just double check it in my phone. It's always good to see what it looks like on a mobile. It doesn't always look right. Okay, let's just take that one off. Okay, that's fine. No, that's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. Twitch. That one. It is working. Fantastic. Okay. I need another cup of tea in a minute, but let's carry on for a minute. Right, is it still backing up? No, looks like it's doing something. Okay. That's the Arc Backup utility, by the way. It's quite cool. Oh, question. Do you think that it's better to have that ticker scrolling like this? I'm not convinced about this. I think that's distracting. Or is it better to have it static? I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Do let me know if you have an opinion. If you don't care, then just don't let me know. Right, so now what I've done... Oh, I've forgotten what I've done. What have I done? Ah, yes, filtered. Yeah, much quicker. That tells me... Brilliant. Take down London, Tokyo. That tells me that the reason that that's slow is nothing to do with the iteration. It's still a little bit. That's all right. It's nothing to do with the iteration. It's actually mostly to do with the slowness of the librocket GUI and debug, which is well known by me, certainly. Cool, let's keep moving. Cool, that's good. That's still a bit slow. Cool. Anyway, so that looks pretty good. So now I can either talk to the spaceport, London, the Tokyo, or Apollonia, which is on the moon. I can hail them and say, hey, I want to do stuff, I want to talk to you. So that's the next thing. So I need to think of some hailing mechanism now, because at the moment all you can see is a list. It's not really good enough. You need to be able to talk to people. But I'm going to commit that. Anyway, try and commit small changes. Yep. 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 Cool, that's all it was. Filter comms to hailable operations. Only hailable operations. I may change the way that I do that another time. Okay, so now what I want to be able to basically be able to do is say V or press V, and then something like I want it to be able to say there's a certain set of hailable actions, things that you can say to a particular operation. So, for example, request landing. Now, this kind of ties into how you want to be able to hail people as well. There are certain things you can say to people. Now, at the moment, I've got a set of radio messages. So I can only find if I actually type in something that Mayday, that might be the thing to type. Don't know where this stuff is defined. There we go. Oh, it's in the message. Oh, that's the message displayer. Based on a PB, that's it, PB radio message, which is kind of borrowing the persistence here. Right, so these are the things you can say. Radio mayday, radio ship being attacked. You can kind of generally broadcast that you're idle or interested in equipment trades, or you can say prepare to die, which is for you know, people attacking other people. So I think we need to add a few more here, which is radio request dock and radio ship docking granted. Now I don't know if whether or not we want to deny people docking at the moment. We can do that when we do outlawing and pirates. So at the moment I'm just going to have request dock and docking granted. Now this is interesting, each operation should return a set of things that you can say to them. This is kind of tapping into the idea of a conversation API, which I haven't really figured out yet. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So basically, I'm going to use AI for doing some of this stuff. So that means we need an actor that sits in the spaceport. It's really, the interesting thing is it's really somebody's job. Now the question is what level of simulation do I want to go to? Do I want to get to the point where there's a job that's offered at a spaceport, and the person who is doing that job is the one who actually grants docking? That would be awesome. However, that's a lot more overhead for the game. That's the problem with that. So I'm not sure if that's the answer. At all. I don't really know how I'm going to do conversations. I'm not sure I want to model this kind of request docking granted as a conversation at the moment. But I do want it to go off to some sort of AI, because I want it to be some sort of delay between requesting dock and docking granted at the moment, even if it's really simple. The thing is with it is if I attach it to an AI and stick a human, literally stick a human in the operation to do the kind of traffic control stuff, then I'm going to need to make sure there's someone there all the time. Those humans will want to go to the bar and go home at various points, which means I need to think about shift patterns and things like that. I'm not sure I want to get down to that level of simulation at this point. It potentially might be just completely wrong to get to that level. Oh, I don't know. I don't know is the answer. I don't know. Would be quite cool though. Maybe what I could do is, in the same way that I assign certain humans to traffic and do we have a traffic control job at humans? I'm not sure we do. Space in the operation type, when I created it yesterday or Monday, we have, where's the spaceport? Security card, manual card, mechanics. Oh, we only have mechanics. We don't actually have air traffic control people. There's no guarantee. The way the air traffic control stuff works is that Yeah, there's no guarantee there's going to be someone there. Someone's taken the job, and we can't have a vacancy here, because if we have a vacancy and there's no AI hooked up in order to do this job, then we're in real trouble. Because you would never be able to land at a spaceport if there's no one there actually doing the docking granted, which would be kind of crazy. Okay, so I don't think I can simulate this at the full level. The reason is that in order to guarantee that there'd be someone actually there, in theory, I would need to yeah, too many agents, or I could force the issue, but I'm not necessarily very good at forcing the issue yet. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that is going to be the answer. Last follower, is that only going every minute? Sorry, let me just figure something out. Yeah, fresh timers, that's incorrect. There we go. Ooh, Stephen the Narskull, thank you very much for following. Appreciate it. You'll be there on the screen until the next follower comes along. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I just needed to. That was only following. That was wrong. Oh, what just happened? I broke it. There we go. Completely broke it. Don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Should probably stop screwing around. Must have hit clear effects by mistake. That was a mistake. Okay. Hopefully the stream is still there. It's fine. Right, back to the code. I need to write some more code. Definitely need to write some more code. Okay, so based on the fact that we're not going to have people at the spaceport, we're not going to do that. We're not going to make it a manual job. I'm not sure. It's an essential job to be filled. I think it would be a mistake to make it that. It's really hard to know because my heart is telling me to just do it with AI, but my head is telling me not to. So when you request a particular docking at a particular location, oh, it'd be so awesome. But what happens if no one's there? The problem fundamentally comes down to the fact that we've only got a few hundred people in the game, actual individual agents, and now if you simulate absolutely everyone, we're going to need to have people in those roles. Mind you, it's a great talking point if you force someone to take that job. Because the fact that the air traffic control person is a real person is just awesome in every way. It really is. Now, in the generator, when we actually hook people up, what do? We ensure that we have enough managers. Where are we? Living people with a profession. Yeah, so what this does is it forces certain people to be engineers and gives them some AI. So we kind of need to do the same thing in their individual city, as long as there are enough people. Yeah, sorry, I'm still trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. Because the problem is I don't have any way of attaching an AI to a building, to an operation, because AI is always attached to humans. And I don't really just want to randomly create a new person, I want to pull someone out of the history. At the moment, at the beginning of the game, if there aren't people doing key things, then you're kind of stuffed. I'm going to need to kind of force the history to do the right things occasionally anyway. That just fix up the pirate, the freelance traders. There's nothing for managers at the moment. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, which is adding humans in with a bit of AI. Yeah, no, I am going to do that. So in a spaceport, we need an air traffic controller. Let's base that on the security guard for the moment. So we need to create a new life stage. A life stage is another way of putting a profession. Okay, this is the new one, which is air traffic, space traffic controller. This might be a huge mistake, but I don't care. Right, you don't need to be very old. In fact, I need to make the requirements pretty low. Attribute, we don't need to do that. Reflex mind needs to be at least poor. I can't have completely stupid people doing this job. Fair, don't care about those. Space traffic controller. Implied status is average. Okay, this is just my various things. Here it became space traffic controller. Right, I don't think it's possible to die. Reflexes, no. Mind, easy. I think we can definitely have that as an effect. So when people take this job, what effects does it have on them? They're not going to be tougher. Is it going to affect their charm? No. Is it going to affect their mind? No. Is it going to affect their reflexes? Possibly. If they continue working at it, they get fed up with it, then they can have a reflex boost. That's actually a mind boost, not a reflexes boost. They're not going to lose their mind, they're going to lose wisdom. They get bored, go stir crazy. Charm. They probably lose wisdom and charm if they get bored, because all they're doing is talking to people all day. That's probably okay. Don't think it's a very interesting job, so... Right, that's space traffic controller, which means that in the spaceport we need just one. Space traffic controller at a spaceport. Cool, so now we've got them at the spaceport. That means if I just run that code. Hey little donkey, nice to see you. Do you have anything to show us of the game? Yes, I'm just about to run it. So unfortunately this isn't one of those games that you kind of build in a what you see is what you get kind of way. I'm done it using a C++ engine that I've written myself, so there's a little bit of faffing about. I was just rebuilding a bunch of stuff here. So the plan is, I'll show you the game in a minute, but what I'm trying to do is set it up so that you can hail particular cities or particular people within particular cities it's going to be, and ask them to kind of let you into a particular spaceport. That's what I'm doing at the moment. At the moment, you just land on Earth, which isn't right. You need to be allowed to land at London or land at Cape Town or land at New York or whatever. That's the plan. So I'm just building. Oh, this is going to take a little while. But whilst that's building, I can probably show you the old version, so you understand what's going on. So when we create a history, at the moment, for example, we can say, hey, I want to create a 25-year-old character or something, or you can change that to 18 or whatever. What this does is it generates the history up to the point at which you were born. So let's just keep an eye on the build in the background. There we go. Oh, did that other change that I make work? 4, 12, yes. 8, 10, 12. No, it didn't work. Yeah, let's see. 12, 13. Let's just make sure that's going to work. Right, we're showing you the game. So, here's the generated version of history. The history generation has gone through a whole bunch of time, but then it has stopped at a particular point. So it stopped at 25 years before present day. That's the idea. Oops, sorry. So that you can create your character, and there are a number of different families that you could potentially be a part of. So we could be born at the Moon, London, Earth, Gale, and Curtis Viney Dean. Let's go for them. Right, so we've already got an older brother who's quite old, a lot older than us. So let's be born a girl. We are Georgina Dean, female London Earth, she's an infant. Okay, so now we're continuing to run the history generation in the background, but we are now including ourselves in the mix. Let's say we've got a mining engineer or a freelance trader. Let's take after our mother, Gail Dean. Okay, step forward. We're surprisingly strong, limber and quick, and of average stamina. Quite quick-witted, very steady and sensible, very charming and witty. Oh, nice. Good character. Right, so what are we going to struggle with at school? Struggling to hang out with friends, but then we'll probably put that back up again in a minute. Yeah. Work hard at that, and then she comes back to charming and witty. Excellent. Okay, so now, keep going, Georgina. She's now 16, nothing really has happened to her, particularly at the moment. Right, so what are we going to do? Pretty uneventful schooling. Oh no, Gail died. I missed that. Oh, that's sad. That will definitely affect her when she's older. Oh, bless. Okay, so we've lost our mother. But let's take after her then. Let's take an apprenticeship, but let's stick close to home. Stick in London. Right, so great, we've got better at repairing ships already. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've made a couple of mates. Joe Cork, eh? And Christina Cork. Nice. So we've obviously met either a couple, Christy Cork, Christy and Joe maybe, or brother and sister. Doesn't easily show you that at the moment. Right, so now we can decide whether or not we want to take a training placement somewhere else. There's nothing really available locally. Oh, London Stationer with a Windar. Right, we're now a trainee mining engineer. Great, anyway, time to start the game. So we're still in London. Right, here we are. So this is us in our little ship. So no, we don't have to stick with mining engineering. We could do anything we like, really. So we can go, for example, into Earth, go to the market and buy some stuff. We've got 300 bucks. Ooh, that's quite cheap. Water's cheap and food is cheap on Earth. So let's go for some water, food. You can see it's going up. Got a bit more space. Food is 500 grams. Let's go for 4. Can't afford 4 food. Okay, should probably sell one of those and buy water. Right. So now what we can do, and a reactor fuel, but then if I buy a reactor fuel, have I got space? Yes. Right, so I've got space on my ship, spent all my money. Right, now I can leave the planet, and I can head off to, say, the moon. So I'll press 3 to boost my engines. Don't really do anything else at the moment. You can see my fuel is ticking down there. Might just turn off. She also doesn't do anything anyway at the moment. Turn off guns and missiles. Save a bit of energy on running costs. Okay, got a bit of heat in my engines, but that's okay. That will cause damage eventually. Okay, here we go. Here's the moon. So now I should just be able to save. Let's just go in here. Okay, so now there's no one around at the moment. That's because I'm in the middle of changing it so that people live in cities rather than on the planet itself. So the AI hasn't been updated yet. Right, so now I can sell some of the stuff. So food I can sell, that's at a profit. Reactor fuel is actually at a slight profit. Water was definitely at a profit, so I'm now up to 250. Got the reactor fuel, so that's awesome. So I made a little bit of money. Basically, trading isn't going to make you loads of money, but it's something you can do. The idea is that you're going to be able to do missions. That's going to be the main way that you make money, I think, because I've decided this game is about trading a little bit, but that's kind of a classic thing. Yeah, but missions haven't been built yet, so that's my next thing. But I have got reactor fuel, which means that if I could find someone, there isn't anyone here at the moment, if I could find someone who potentially would trade equipment with me, then I would be able to kind of do something about that. But at the moment, like I said, I'm landing at the moon. So that's not brilliant. It needs to be Apollonia City, the moon. Something like that will be the place that, the way that we want this to work. And that's what I'm in the middle of doing so at the moment. So anyway, so other cool things, you can see the way that the reactors work at the bottom. The ships are quite carefully modelled, so you can turn, if you try and fire your guns, you can't fire them properly. If you turn off guns completely, you can see that firing your guns won't work. If you turn back guns back on, you'll start firing. Careful not to hit another ship, that would be bad. Let's see, I could probably head for, let's see if I can find system features. Yeah, the Venus orbit. So this is a particular jump gate that I'm heading towards here. You can see this purple smoke coming out of the jump gates. They pollute the atmosphere terribly, but people have not figured out what to do about that. Anyway, the jump gates are all a little bit unknown. I can zoom through there, head into hyperspace, and then I'll end up at Venus orbit. So just scoot out of here. Like I said, there's normally more ships flying about, but not at the moment. Sorry about the jerkiness on the stream. That's just because I'm streaming. I haven't figured out how to get the frame rate higher. So yeah. Right, so here's Venus. See, it's getting into the late afternoon and the planet is almost in shadow. But they'll have different things that I can buy and sell. So same list at the moment. It's quite a simple list. This is actually where reactor fuel is in short supply on Venus at the moment, so that's quite interesting. And food, I should have sold my food here. There's a lot more demand for pretty much everything in Venus, apart from precious metal. So metal and precious metal are cheap on Venus. So I could potentially buy some. Could I afford one more? I haven't quite got the space to store a couple of kilos, a couple of tons of precious metal. No, I haven't quite got the space on this ship. There's no one around to trade my ship, trade off cargo and things like that with at the moment. So let's see, what else can I see here? Earth, I can jump to Mercury. So if I can sell my metal, I've got a feeling metal is going to be cheap at Mercury as well, but I can go and look. The main thing that I want to build in this game is missions. I'm really keen to get that in because I think that's a killer feature of the game. Right, and there I am. I'm starting a Kickstarter for this game in the new year. I was going to do it in December, but I was advised that that's a bad idea. Let's see, metal 133. No, it's still. I thought it'd be quite cheap. The idea is to expand this list of goods. I'm planning on doing that pretty soon. and also to make the kind of trading a bit more interesting. Having said that, I'm not sure trading is going to be a huge part of the game. Certainly, doing up your ship and flying missions is going to be one of the major ways. Or you could buy a massive trading ship and just trade huge amounts of things. That would be a good way of earning money, and it is going to be a good way of doing it, but it's probably not the main way. Right, how's that build getting on? Oh, it's a bit slow today. I was having to rebuild everything. That's my stupid fault. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to do a full rebuild in the background and kill the machine for a minute. So the frame rate might die, but I'll try and improve it. How is the status of the stream in terms of the output? It's looking okay at the moment. Yeah, it's looking all right. Okay, so I'm still building everything else in the background. That's fine. Having said that, yes, space traffic controller, this is what I'm doing, so I can get on with the rest of the thing while I'm doing this. So that means once we've rebuilt the game, people should be able to take jobs as space traffic controllers. That means that you can land at particular cities. The question is what happens if there isn't a space traffic controller for each city? I'm not sure what to do about that. Somebody else is going to have to do it. Right, so in the generator code for the solar system, we have code here which creates for each planet and actually it's going to need to be for each city. So the problem that we have at the moment is that that's building. It's building quite fast. Is that we're initializing AI, but we haven't found anyone. And that's because people are now... Oops, what should I just do? Did I just break it? Oh, idiot. Yep, I just broke it. Let's try again. Oh no, it crashed. Did it crash? Unable to execute command. Hang up. Oh, I must have just pressed something. I pressed something. I did something that broke it. Cool. That's running anyway. Right. So, at the moment, we're going through all of the bodies, but that's not good enough. We're also going to need to go through all of the cities. In fact, we can just go through the cities right now. Cities. City map. Celestial body, we don't need the body, we need the city. City. City name. Body. City. City location. Same here. City. Oop. Okay, let's do this properly. City. City location. There as well. 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 Right, so now, interestingly, it's going to hide the video preview, and I hope I was watching the video preview, but I'm just going to hide that for the moment. Okay, so now when I just let that run. Okay. Now it's just going to go through each individual city to find the people and add them to. Now, what I need to do then, I know about all of that. I also need to say, for each city, I need to attach AI to the space traffic controllers. Pirate live status, where's that? Operation type, CPP, space traffic. In the city location. There should be one each time. If people size is not equal to 1, then I'm going to have to probably bomb out for a minute. So basically what I'm doing, cannot find the space traffic controller for city name got people size. And actually I'm going to throw, because if I don't have that, I'm in real trouble. And then all I need to do is I just need to iterate through the list. I'll keep it like this because I might want 2 in the future. Right, and then I don't want to create them as ship. I don't want to set them as location. I want to create them a new actor. And I want to set them a set of goals. Now the goal is direct ships. Ship traffic control. So now what we're doing is we're just finding space traffic controllers and we're saying okay, that's just running through the test, that's good. And then we're just basically setting them as a goal ship traffic control. That won't compile because the planner doesn't understand what goal ship traffic control is. Nope. The way that this works is that you assign a particular goal to that person and they'll plan what they want to do. Now in the planner, we basically say the action is chase traffic control, cost is 0, behavior is ship traffic control. The preconditions, there are no preconditions, and the effects are ship traffic space traffic. So what I'm doing is here is I'm setting up the AI so that the AI is a planning AI with behavior trees in it. So so basically I'm creating a new actor for the particular person that is the space traffic controller for this city. If there isn't one, to be honest, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to change somebody's job to that at the last minute. Cool, the game's finished building. So I'm actually just going to, I'm going to have to do that again in a minute. Quit. I just need to get this done first. Space traffic. So the effect is that the space traffic is controlled, the action is to control space traffic, and the behavior is control space traffic. Right, so let's just head to the, oops, planner proto, that one. So this is now controlled space traffic, and then the action is control space traffic. Was it controlled? Yes, it is. Okay. Now, there's a few things we need to do here. We need to say the knowledge. I wanted to say, is the space traffic controlled? The answer is it's never controlled. It's never fully controlled. You can't have done it. Just because I haven't saved the other file. Why not? Controlled space traffic, goal controlled space traffic. Is that not the goal controlled space traffic? Did I save that? Yes, I did. PLN. Let's flip in there. Oh, I haven't recompiled. That's why. Let's do that in a minute. Okay, the other thing is that we never ask the knowledge for how to do this thing. The answer is never asked. This is all deep into the AI stuff, so bear with me a minute. Right, let's just run that again. Let's let that planner rebuild. The AI is a planning AI, like I said, so you have to set up a goal for the AI and then it will figure out what action to take. In this case, it's going to go and control the space traffic, which is quite simple. It just means that they're going to be in that city, because that's where they start, and then they're going to just run an action which will respond to messages. It'll be quite a simple action. We haven't actually got anything that does that yet, so we're going to try and figure out how to do that. So when they receive that message, we haven't got any kind of sending messages to anyone yet, so we'll have to add that. Then the AI is going to respond saying, hey, you can land, probably after a little bit of a delay, to stop people landing too quickly and getting out of fights that way. Something like that. I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. Just reorganize slightly here. Okay, this is going to rebuild the whole game again. While we're here, this is a great chance to ask questions. If you'd like to follow me, you can. You'll get a little follower message. Stephen the Narscle's been up there far too long. Let's get somebody else up there. If you want to hit the follow button, then you'll see your name up there. The other thing... oh, error. Let's talk about that later. Right, unused variable actor. Oh yes, it's because I'm not actually doing anything with that person. I need to actually add that actor. Cool. Yeah, so if you want to add me, you're very welcome to do that. If you would like to find out more about the game, I'm happy to answer questions. This is a good time to ask them while we're compiling. Put the snowfall back on. It's Christmas. Woohoo! Sadly, there aren't any other really cheesy effects that I can find. But, you know, that one's quite good. It's probably a little bit too fast. Let's go for speed 2. Number of flakes. Let's just make it gentle. Just a few flakes. Then I might even leave that on. That's quite pretty, isn't it? I like that. Okay, that's not enough flakes. Definitely need more flakes. 5. There we go. God, it's like something out of Frozen. Actually, don't mention Frozen. I have small children, and I've seen that film more times than I would care to repeat. Let's update the messages. Working on setting up AI for air traffic control so that can land at specific cities. There we go. Save your CPU cycles, yeah, you're probably right. Well, it's pretty, but it's so pretty. Oh, it's almost finished anyway. Fair point though, but I'm going to leave it on. Right. Only when I'm compiling though. Okay, right. Ooh, that's quite a big compit. 112 assertions, 44 deletions. Yeah, I need to commit soon. On Twitter, just adding a few extra bits. Okay, did that compile? Cool. I'll leave that. Failed. Test completed. Okay, that is probably terminate. Why did it terminate? Solar system generator. Ah, this is because there'll be a message. Cannot find space traffic controller for London. What happened is that the test has failed because we now cannot find a space traffic controller for this particular person. This is for the generator spec. Which spec was that? Didn't say. Let's run it again. Here we go. Yep, boom. It'll depend on the solar system generation spec. That's what I need to find. Generation spec. Right, so it literally just does a generate to make sure it doesn't crash. I'm not sure that's a useful test. I think it's a rubbish test. I'm going to delete that test. Bye-bye. Okay, next one. Testing this without a history is useless. Okay, I'm turning the snow off. Sorry, everyone. It's going. Bye-bye. Still crashing.